Welcome into Gun Talk. We are live across the country, and I'm Ryan Gresham filling in for Tom. Tom is out hunting the country this week, so we're filling in. We're going to be talking guns for the next 3 hours, and thanks for listening to us. And by the way, you can watch this because I'm the host of Gun Talk Nation. We're doing this with our Gun Talk team here at Gun Talk headquarters. And so if you go and watch it, we are in the Gun Talk Nation studios right here in Robert, Louisiana. And welcome in. We got Chris Serino. We've got Kevin Jardigan.
What's up?
Team Gun Talk.
Hey, I'm so excited to be. We've been giggling so much already that I think I have all my giggles out. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to find some new energy.
That's good.
So we got a lot to talk about today. We started running down like, all right, what are we covering today? And went, okay, after like all these things, I think we have enough to talk about and cover. This is the funny thing for people listening. When Tom started Gun Talk Radio 30 years ago, it was only 2 hours, and then it became a 3-hour show. And when he started having these conversations with radio stations, they said, well, I mean, it sounds interesting, but you're just going to talk about guns? You know, like, yeah. And like after 6 weeks, aren't you going to run out of things to talk about? Well, 30 years later, we're still talking about...
It's impossible.
Guns, gun rights, hunting, self-defense, anything and everything, because this is a huge hobby that people have in the world, but in the United States, certainly. We were just doing some looking, and I mean, you've got about 46 million people who participate in the shooting sports each year.
That's crazy. And I guarantee you, there's someone out there that you know that you don't know that they shoot.
Oh, that's true.
I guarantee you that
depending on where you are. Yeah, depending on where you are, it's almost a little bit hush-hush.
Yes. Oh, don't say anything.
Well, I mean, I own guns, but I don't know anybody who owns guns. You're like, well, have you asked anybody? Well, no, because I live in California. And
I don't know if it's
kind of, I'm not
kosher to
sure.
bring up.
I shouldn't bring it up. Like, hey, stop.
Let's talk about this.
Bring it up. Be brave. It's okay.
Well, Gib just told me a story the other day. He said, I got this customer. He's a liberal. He's got more machine guns than I've ever seen in my life. And I said, are you kidding me? I said, what, is he buying for investments? No, he goes out and shoots them. I said, are you kidding me?
Because machine guns
and
are fun.
And he says, yeah, but he doesn't want anybody to know he has them.
Do we have...
He's a closet machine gun enthusiast.
Are we sure he's a liberal? Like, are we sure?
He's
come on.
Look,
huge proponent of the other side.
Everybody wants to shoot a machine gun. Everybody.
But owning them is
who you are.
But owning them is a whole different ballgame.
That is. And by the way, surprise, surprise, everybody, you can own machine guns.
Yes.
Because people will say this all the time. Well, you know, there's certain restrictions you can put on. It's like you can't own a machine gun. Time out. Yes, you can. Yeah. You fill out the form. You pay a $200 tax stamp. Which, by the way, you know the wait times that we keep talking about for silencers? Yeah. It's the same system for short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, machine guns. So I think that the wait times are not much of a wait time these days, even for machine guns.
Well, they said, I just read, it's going up because of the government shutdown. So
right now,
say that there could become a backlog and we could end up getting messed up again.
Yep.
Which is an unfortunate side effect of the shutdown.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, you can own a machine gun. Now, that being said, for civilians, and we weren't going to get into this, but let's get into it. If somebody's driving around right now and says, wait, I can own a machine gun?
I want to own a machine gun.
Yes, let me tell you. And we'll have to have a machine gun expert on the show because you can own a machine gun. We know some people.
Yeah.
We know some machine. We'll call Gibbs' friend. You can own machine guns, but you can, as a civilian, you can only own machine guns that were made before 1986. That's the cutoff.
Right.
Anything after 86 is basically military and law enforcement only. I won't get into all the details and nuances of that. But because of that, it's kind of like waterfront property. They ain't making any more of it, so the prices go up. I mean, you think about it, an AR-15, the difference between an AR-15 and an M4 is what, Chris? A sear?
An AR-15 and M16 is a hole in the receiver and a spring and two parts, a pin and a
A spring in 2 parts.
Yeah.
An AR-15 costs plus or minus $1,000.
Yeah.
An M16 costs $30,000 or $40,000. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And it's essentially the same thing. It's like a car with a governor and without a governor, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a car guy. But
Yeah, you're probably
Like-
exactly right, because it's just something that holds it back.
But because of that, people do buy them for investments because there's a finite amount of machine guns made before 1986 that you
Right.
can own.
But as an investment, like if you're doing this as an investment, at some point you do need to sell it.
Don't tell anybody that.
I know. Don't tell anybody. But I seriously, like, I think like it's always that thing. Well, I'm going to buy this as an investment, but you never sell it. So
Is that just people helping themselves?
You're just helping. You're just making
justify it?
yourself feel good.
Hey, you know what? We're okay with that.
And if
here.
you want to own it, just own it.
I mean, some people sell them, some people buy them and sell them, but they wait too long and then they probably die the next day. It's like waiting to retire as a cop. Everybody says, I'm going to retire one day. And then you die like a week later because you can't retire from
You waited
being a
too
cop.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your machine
Or it's
guns
the
end
old,
up going somewhere else.
Man, you really brought the energy of the show.
Wow, that's a bummer.
Like, it started going, the next day.
Alanis Morissette wrote a song about that, I think.
Oh my gosh, isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
So
sorry,
we
everybody.
do have some great guests coming up on the show today. We got some very fun guests. We've got Nick Collier, who is he has shot competitively. I don't know if he would say he's competitive, but he shoots in competitive competitions.
He gave me my
he's
first promotional piece of gear to write an article about
There you go.
when I started.
He's also an armorer, an AR-15 guy, and just a general fun guy. Been following this stuff. We've got Kenny Barlow from Regal Products. We're going to have him on the show. We're also going to be talking about some questions for the audience to chime in on. And if you want, you can follow along. We're going to be posting. So we're recording this right now. It's not actually live, but you can watch this video on all of the Gun Talk channels. Gun Talk, YouTube, Facebook, X.
All the places.
I don't know, TikTok, not yet.
Please no.
KJ's been practicing his
No.
dance moves.
I do practice.
that was pretty good. Right. That was very coordinated.
But if you want to follow along, you can watch us on all those places and chime in with your thoughts, your questions, your criticisms. We
accept.
it's all right. So questions on the floor today, and we threw this out on the Gun Talk Facebooks, and man, people were commenting with thousands and thousands of comments on these. So I'm just going to tell you all three of them right now,
Yes.
and we'll jump into the first one. First one, what's the most underrated cartridge? Man. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is, what discontinued guns would you wish that they would bring back, or they would start making again? And then the third question is, how many guns and how much ammo constitute an arsenal? Which is a little bit of a dig at the public relations of municipalities.
Yes.
But anyway, so underrated cartridges, we got to go there. We had like 1,100 comments on the Gun Talk Facebook on this one.
So here's my question. It's kind of a follow-up question to this. Is for what?
Oh, well, we didn't specify. Sure.
Because immediately my mind starts going, oh, what hunting cartridges do I think are underrated? Where you may go, ooh, defensive purposes. Like what defensive cartridges are out there?
See, I hadn't thought about either side of it.
Really?
I just thought the underrated cartridge, because for me, it's multi-purpose anyways. I mean,
Okay.
defend or
So
not.
underrated, right? So I'll kick it off. Russ on Facebook, 6.5 Creedmoors are the most awesome cartridge in the world. Honestly, in the universe, pure magic. Can only assume Jesus had one.
Is that my brother? Like, there, I go there too. Like, that's the
I think
first
he
one.
was just jumping in there to go, let's just get out in front of this. There's going to
That's
be
so
someone who
funny.
says
What
it.
I hope he didn't mean it that way. But I know he did.
I can only assume Jesus had one.
No, the 300 is the Lord's caliber.
Well, that's
300
God.
Win Mag?
300 Win Mag.
300 Win Mag.
That's the Lord's caliber.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you
it's
want
already been
something
noted.
dead.
Anything. But I still don't think it's underrated. I think people
No,
appreciate
people love
it.
that.
People love it.
But a 300 Win Mag, it's got some recoil to it.
It does. But
It's got some recoil.
It does. But if you can tame it with all sorts of stuff. A suppressor.
A suppressor is the best way.
I mean, that's the best way to do it. But when I start thinking about that, I'm like, ooh, a 270. I think the 270 is very underrated.
Well, there are
100-year-old
several people
cartridge.
here that kind of went that direction of like 30-06, 270, and it's funny because those were the go-to rifle cartridges for hunting.
Yeah.
And the only reason I think that they're saying they're underrated is because now we've moved on to 6.5 Creedmoor or all these other things that are maybe the new sexy. But yeah, a 270 or a 30-06 will get the job done all week long.
308. Is it 308's another one?
Right.
We just glaze over it now. We leave it.
The deal is this. I think what people have been looking for is not just the power. Excuse me. It's not just the power. They're looking for the accuracy. And then that's when they started changing all the bullets and changing the shoulder angles and all these different things started coming out, right? Because a 30-06 will kill anything that walks the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it accurate? Can you still buy an accurate cartridge in it? Can you buy an accurate load?
And
That's my question.
Yeah.
Well, and that gets into the whole gun nerd hole of what does accurate mean? Minute of elk, minute of deer? Are we've got our
Does it
buddy
have to
Dan
be
who's out here.
minute of
and he's
shooter?
like,
Like whoever's
well, I don't
doing the
know.
shooting.
This load is shooting a 0.9 inch group,
Oh, he
but
said
this load
0.3.
is shooting a 1.1 inch group. What is it?
He said 0.3 to me, and he was lamenting it.
Right, right.
Most guys would die to shoot
I'm
that.
at like 0.3 with this, but then I pulled one, and I said, "Do you really think it's the gun?"
No, it's
you.
not the gun at
yeah,
that
it's
point.
fine.
Yeah.
At some point, the gun and the ammo are more accurate than you are. I like Craig. Craig's comment is 8mm Nambu, ... This is called a joke.
That's a joke. That's a good one.
That's
Man.
funny. I have to look.
Well, you go. There's Brad. I'm gonna butcher his name. Harco was 7mm .8, and I think that's another one that kind of falls in that class where if you're starting out with used shooters or something, everybody's like, oh, go into a 308 or a 6 Creedmoor, but a 7mm .8 is a great kid's gun. That is a great kid's gun, and they can grow into it.
You know what? And since I've been here in Louisiana, I hear that caliber talked about a lot.
Yes.
Calibers are kind of regional. People have their things that they like. 25-06. I mean, that's another one that you don't hear much about.
Up in Ohio, it's
That's it.
Mac Daddy for groundhogs.
There you go,
that's what
right?
Everybody was
because a
hopping about.
25-06, it's a neck down 30-06.
6.
And so you can, if depending on what bullet you load in there, it could be for big game or it could be groundhogs. We've got a lot to cover here. You guys stick around with us at Gun Talk. Keep listening. We have some guests on the way. If you want to see what we're doing here, you can join us on the Gun Talk YouTube, Gun Talk Facebook, Gun Talk X. You can go to guntalk.com. You can sign up for our emails and find out what the heck's going on out there because we've got all kinds of new content. Stick around. We will be back with more Gun Talk. Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk. We are talking about guns, and we are talking about some of the conversations going on Gun Talk's pages online. Facebook, in particular, is where people like to argue. So why don't we just give them something to argue about? So we post some questions out there. We had thousands of comments, and one of the questions that we're discussing right now is, what's the most underrated cartridge? Now, this gets into a little bit of, I always call it gun nerdery. Blake says 45 Super. And for a lot of people listening right now, they're like a 45 Colt? Nope. Not a 45 Colt, not a 45 ACP, a 45 Super. How about a 45 Gap, Chris?
Yeah, that's even better.
Well, it's rated. I don't say it's underrated.
Oh man,
It's just unnecessary.
Yeah, it should never happen.
No.
I'm serious.
You got one?
Yeah, I got one. I got two guys here that I got old Clint Osborne and Joe Anthony, both of them with me, and I'm saying it's the 22. I love the 22 long rifle. I really, really do.
There's a lot of people on this message board on Facebook that say like they agree with you. The 22,
The 22.
most underrated.
And then I got a funny
But is that
one.
underrated?
Is it underrated though? I mean, it's extremely popular.
It's underrated
It's popular,
because
but
people
is it-
say you can't. You can't. Listen, I have 22s in my house for self-defense. Okay, I got 9-shot revolver.
Everybody just stop listening
Yep.
to Chris. What?
No, oh my
22s for self-defense.
Here's the deal. Let me ask you. I would not let Chris take a shot at me at 100 yards with a 22 or anywhere else.
No.
Like, I don't want to get hit with a 22.
No.
I'm sure
Yeah.
the bad guy doesn't either.
Come walk into my house and listen to a 9-shot revolver barking,
Yeah.
all 9, and on target.
I think part of it is
No.
we do like, and then like, all right, this is the part that if your wife or significant other's in the car with you, tell them to earmuff it and close their ears. You probably don't need any more guns with different cartridges. You can get it all done with a 308 or a 30-06 or a 6.5 Creedmoor or a 9mm. However, it's fun. It's fun to say, yeah, I know 38 special is great, but 41 mag is fun, right?
Yeah.
9mm will do the job, but it's fun to have a 10mm and mess around with that.
Yeah, I've got a revolver in 38, but a revolver in 10 would be fun.
Right.
Wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah.
Because then I could actually shoot something with it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, 38's probably one of those that's not even on this list. I haven't looked through all 1,000 because nobody's underrating the 38.
So, Lee Lewis, it's really funny. And then there was a reply from Doug Murphy on the bottom half of this. Has anyone said 38-55 Winchester?
No one has said that.
No one has said that. I promise you. I promise you.
Somebody already took it, right? No, they didn't.
No,
they
come on. Anybody out there with the 38-55 Winchester? But then Doug commented right below that, and I think there's a lot to be said for this, especially everybody that's throwing out the accuracy portion of this. It's underrated for its accuracy. More people are chasing accuracy, like what you said with the 6mm, the 6.5s, and stuff like that. But he says, like Doug Murphy says, good marksmanship makes any cartridge effective. People get too wrapped up in numbers and charts. That's in his opinion, but I share the same sentiment.
Well, if it's something you shoot well, it'll do the job.
Did you see what I'm doing here?
No.
I'm spinning the wheel of wonder.
And
I don't care where it ends.
You're doing the scroll up.
There's 1,000 comments.
Scroll up.
Right, there's 1,000 comments. How am I going to get it? And so I'm just gonna get to one, and I'm gonna laugh.
He's gonna laugh. He's doing the scroll on his phone.
Whoa! I am gonna laugh. I just came to one.
Really?
Sweet.
Somebody said the 40 Smith & Wesson.
Oh. So underrated.
Is it?
No.
Underrated.
No,
no.
I like to spend
it's been
more
passed
for
by.
rated.
It's been passed by. We're done. We're done with that. It's over. Get over it.
I want to pay more for my recoil.
Well, oh boy, someone's gonna. But I carry a 40. But do you? Here's a question. But do you shoot your 40 a lot?
I carry it.
They carry a 40, and yes,
I'm
a
gonna shoot
40
a
will
9.
do the job. And yes, it's possible to shoot it well. But apples to apples, you're probably going to shoot a 9 better. It's going to hold a couple more rounds of ammunition. The 40
And the ammo costs less.
and the ammo costs less. But that doesn't matter if you don't shoot, right, Chris?
Oh no!
Wait a minute.
Oh no!
He said the quiet part out loud.
Yes.
Sorry, everybody.
You're 100% right.
Hey, ammo's cheap when you don't shoot it.
Let's carry a 45.
All right. Well, it's fun to argue about all this stuff. We'll move on to more conversations. After the break, we're going to have Nick Collier with us. You guys are going to really enjoy him. He's an interesting cat. Hopefully you'll understand his Kentucky accent. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk. Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk, coast to coast, talking about guns for 30 years. 30 years,
Jeez.
Gun Talk has been on the air.
Wow.
And hundreds of radio stations air this show every single week. Can you believe that? I mean, it's amazing. We really appreciate all the radio stations that air the show each week. And it also is a podcast. So if you're driving around going, what in the heck is this? And you're about to have to run into the store, you can go, well, just go to your podcast and you can actually listen to the whole thing. Don't worry if you're missing out on it. But I'm your host for the day, Ryan Gresham. We've got Team Gun Talk here. We've got Kevin Jarnigan. We've got Chris Serino. We're doing it from the Gun Talk headquarters. We're doing it on the Gun Talk Nation set. You can actually go watch this because we're filming it. So this will be on all the Gun Talk channels, YouTube, Facebook, X. And thanks for listening. First, we're going to bring in our guest. He's one of our favorite people in the world, Nick Collier. He is a multi-talented gentleman. He's shot competitively. He's an AR armorer, which is hard to say. He also works with Bud's Gun Shop, which everybody pretty much knows as far as the OGs of selling guns online. He works with Double Star, and he knows a thing or two about machine guns too. Nick, welcome in, man.
Well, guys, it's always good to be here. It's just like coming home.
Dude, we're so glad to see you. You know, sometimes we just have people on the show who are just like, why are we going to have him on the show? Because he's our friend and he's fun and we like him. So
That's the best. That's the best reason. I don't want to be on any other show for any other reason.
So, Nick, we were having this conversation. We were talking about underrated cartridges. We were talking about guns that you'd like to bring back, which we haven't really dove into
We
that
haven't
yet.
gotten there yet.
Yeah.
We're still
Dovin'.
hashing
We
out
haven't
this
dove it.
cartridge
I
thing.
know. Probably the listeners are like, okay, enough with the cartridge thing. But half of them are thinking
No.
that, and half are going,
I got one.
Mr. Cotter, call on me.
So Nick, we decided that the most underrated cartridge of our lifetime is the 40 cal Smith & Wesson.
Oh, no, we did not. Oh, jeez.
That is
So
so. I had a USP that I'd carried around for several years, and I went to a gun show, and you talk about it just like you should have walked around with a turd because it was in 40 cal, and every time I bring it out and somebody's like, "Ooh, what you want for that?" and they go, "Oh, it's 40," and they just hand it back to me.
they hold it with just the two fingers, like, ew.
Oh, it's a 40.
Oh, it's
Never
40.
mind.
Ew.
Oh, it's a 40. So I had to throw in a whole reloading kit just to trade it off for a P365X.
If you buy the gun, I'll give you 1,000 rounds of 40 for free.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping my ammo just in case.
Just in case. That's
think
the
I
thing.
have
We're all
another
trying
40
to find
somewhere.
reasons to shoot the 40 we have. So,
That's right.
do you have a thought on this, Nick? Underrated cartridges?
Well, it could be an application thing because of course, I worked for Double Star for a long time, and I've dealt with the 223, 5.56, and all the lore that comes with those cartridges and how ineffective they are at killing certain things, certain size game. Even though I've seen, I don't know, and you've seen thousands of pictures. We've got the most recent story of the guy who shot the bear in his kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah. And he shot it with, 77 grain Hornady critical defense. And I was like, you know what? I'm a believer. We'll take down a bear. I'm good
A
with it.
charging bear?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I don't think it's underrated though, because you're looking at it and he put what, 7, 8 rounds in that bear in a span of what, 1.2 seconds?
Quick.
From 10 feet away?
Right. So I have a hard time believing, Nick, that the 223 5.56 is actually underrated.
Well, and I think it in certain crowds it is, because like I said, it's usually amongst deer hunters that I hear how ineffective a 223 is, and I just tell them about all the people that have sent us pictures that have killed a really nice deer with their Double Star ARs.
Yep.
And
Yep. Well, and in some
the
states,
proof's in the pudding to me.
in some states, you're not allowed to hunt with a 22 caliber or anything. So it has to be,
Right.
I think, 24 or higher in certain states.
0.2.
Yeah, there's
know.
rules on that.
0.02.
Yes, 0.02 bigger.
Yeah,
Big difference.
So Nick, I've killed 2 deer since I've lived here, and with 223, and the one that I neck shot, dead like a bad transmission, and the one that I had to shoot through the breadbasket just didn't. I mean, he's dead, but he went, and he didn't leave a lot of blood behind. So that for me was a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you couldn't track them as well. Yeah,
So let's
makes
switch
sense.
gears a little bit because I mean you're dealing with a lot of fun stuff, both with Bud's Gun Shop and on the Double Star side of things. Anything in the last year that you've been playing with that you really liked?
Well, I'll tell you, it's really been the last 2 years, but I had always shot, competitively with, a Glock or an M&P, and I finally got a hold of one of those Mac double stack 1911s
Yep.
about a year and a half ago, and now I've got this weird affliction for double stack 1911s, and I got a 5 inch and a 4 1/4,
Oh Lord.
and then Buds did a deal, brand of the month with Kimber, and they've got a 2K11. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys have
that
got
thing
your
is
hands on that.
sweet. That's sweet,
Woo-hoo.
dude.
First 3 shots out of the box were touching on paper were from like 15 yards.
Gosh, so now
And
is the
iron
brim of
sights.
your hat getting flatter and flatter? By the
It
day.
is.
Man.
It is.
If Nick can do that, then that's got to be a good gun because
That's
he
a
can't
heck of a
shoot.
firearm.
Jeez.
Well, I went to Sereno's class, so
Yeah. That's got to be expensive working at Bud's Gun Shop.
Oof.
I've been there now about 3 months, and man, it's
3 months
tough.
and how many guns?
Uh, 2 guns and about 2,000 rounds of ammo.
Yeah. That's the problem. When you work at a
Yeah.
place like a retail type place, it's like, ooh, that's cool. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah. So, Nick, hang around. After the break, we're going to talk more about this. We're going to talk about AR armoring and maybe talk a little bit more about some machine gun stuff because you were at the Knob Creek machine gun shoot for years and years and years. I'd love to get your take on that. We'll be back with more gun talk. Welcome back to Gun Talk. So at the top of the show here, we started, it wasn't even planned, but we started talking about machine guns and the fact that, yes, you can own machine guns because people will throw that out. You'll hear it in the news all the time of like, well, I mean, certain restrictions on guns are okay. I mean, you can't own a machine gun. You're like, time out. Yes, you can. Nick, you have attended, there used to be this machine gun shoot called, is it Knob Creek? Is that right?
That's right. Knob Creek machine gun shoot right outside of Fort Knox, Kentucky. They did it twice a year, second weekend of April and October. And it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The machine gun shoot was, in fact, a huge, huge machine gun shoot where they had an entire line of pretty much every machine gun you could think of from, Mod Deuce size guns, all the way down to full auto pistols that you could shoot. They had another range, that people would shoot. And then they had another range where you could rent different guns to shoot.
Wow.
And then it was a giant gun show at the same time. But it's not like your gun show that you go to regularly on the weekend and it's like, man, there's some stuff and some tables. No, this is the most incredible gun show to this day that I've ever been to because of the variety of things you could find. It was everything from all war memorabilia, different kinds of, like 37 millimeter grenades for those launchers. Like they had those, but they also had everything that you needed paperwork for. If you wanted 40 millimeters, they had those too. There were dealers for just about everything. And it was really cool. It started really early in the morning and ended really late at night. They did a night shoot. It's still on YouTube if you ever want to check that out.
That's a good point, Nick. You could look it up on everything's on YouTube now. So if you look up Knob Creek machine gun shoot on YouTube, you'll find tons of footages. And for the most part, these were either dealers that are owned this stuff or just privately owned machine guns, right?
Right. Most of the people that were on the line were private owners. So there were a few dealers, but then the cool thing was these guys would get out and they'd shoot all weekend. And I mean, you think about the ammo cost that is now. These people did it and they would get up on, miniguns, quad mount miniguns. One guy had quad mount miniguns.
Okay.
And he would burn 15 seconds of belts off all four of them.
So, let's do this math
incredible.
real quick. A minigun, depending on, and they can set it, but it's somewhere between like 3,000 to 6,000 rounds a minute. Is that about right?
It can be. Yeah, you can turn them way up. I think the maximum is right around 4,000.
Okay, 4,000.
It's still a lot.
Yeah. 2,000 to 4,000 rounds of 308 per minute, and he had 4 of them mounted together?
That's right. That's right. He was on. It was basically like I don't know. When you were a kid and you had the GI Joe and the thing that sat on top of the tanks that had all the guns.
Yeah, it had
was
like the turret,
that. I can't think
turret deal.
The turrets.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so if it's going 4,000 rounds a minute, 15 seconds is 1,000 rounds. Times 4, we're back to 4,000 rounds in 15 seconds.
Yep, just like that.
And it's
now
just
that's
like
what,
that. Just like that.
$4,000?
I have a question.
Yep.
Why is it gone? Why did they get rid of this shoot, Nick?
It's a terrible, sad thing, but for lack of sounding like a Gen Xer, they couldn't get anybody to work. It's a huge event. It took a lot of people, a lot of volunteers to pull it off. And as the years went on, those people, got older. The people, you had your regulars that came back every year and kind of ran things and knew what was going on. But just the kind of secondary help that you need for parking and trash pickup. And I mean, you're talking thousands, like 30 or 40,000 people there through the weekend. And that's a lot of porta-johns and a lot of garbage cans.
It's also a good reminder of like really cool things don't always last forever. So if there's a really cool thing out there, it runs its course, which actually kind of ties into really cool things that don't last forever. Guns that are discontinued that you wish they would bring back. So there's been all sorts of guns over the years that people love, and then people still talk about it, but the gun company doesn't make it anymore. Is there anyone that comes to mind for you, Nick, that you said, man, I wish they would bring that back and start making it again?
I'll be honest. The first thing that popped into my head was the Calico 9mm.
A Calico? What is that? Tell me about that.
It is, if you've ever, showing my age again, if you've ever played 007 on the Nintendo 64, there was one of the guns. It's a little 9mm. It's a crazy space gun looking thing. And they're real. Like, I've held one.
They're real.
But they don't make them anymore. Not snuffleupagus at all. But it's a 9mm, if I'm not mistaken, and it had a weird magazine, like a drum mag.
Okay.
But it was small, kind of almost like an AR size, like an AR pistol size gun. And they were just really neat. And I've never fired one, which I want to. I think we had a few drums come through the shop, but I've never been able to actually handle and shoot one.
Have you ever looked for one on like Gunbroker or Bud's Gun Shop?
No, I have not. To be honest with you, it's one of those things that I was pretty sure was out of my range, so I never really dug into it.
Maybe that's the one. It's a bucket list gun. You got a bucket list gun,
That's
KJ?
right.
No, I don't have a bucket list gun. Like, and now you know that sounds so weird to do, like to say, like I don't have a bucket list gun, but I have a couple guns that, man, I wish they would bring back for sure.
Do you have one that comes to mind?
Oh, I've got two. Like the Thompson Center Icon. Like, by far one of the most accurate bolt action rifles I've ever owned.
Well, Thompson Center sold to Smith & Wesson, and then it got purchased, and now Greg Ritz, who started Thompson Center, owns it again.
Right.
So there's a chance.
Full circle.
No way. No way. The Venture did that gun in.
Oh.
Did it in.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess sometimes you're like, why? But it was such a good gun. That's what we always say. But it was such a good gun. Why'd they stop making it? Money, no one was buying it, changes in the market, whatever.
Yep.
No one was buying it.
Yeah. Nick, man, it's always good to talk to you. Thanks for being on with us.
Guys, always good to hang out with you. I miss you bunch.
All right. Nick Collier, thanks for being on. We will be back with more Gun Talk. Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk. I am your host for the day, Ryan Gresham. Thanks for tuning in and listening. And we're here at Gun Talk headquarters. Tom is off hunting, so we're filling in for him this week. And so you could be a part of the conversation online. You can go watch this because we're filming it. So KJ and Chris, what was the gun that Nick said he wanted to bring back? Did you look at this gun, Chris?
It was the Calico 9mm. I pulled it up on my phone while he was talking about it, and it looks like some kind of squirt pistol.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird looking thing.
To each his
I've
own.
heard of it. I guess I've never seen one.
Calico?
I've never seen it. I've seen it in imagery, but I mean, but our producer Michael off air was like, hey, if it's anything 007, it screams nostalgia. And he's exactly right. Like some guns that people want brought back isn't because of their accuracy. It's not because it's just the caliber that they always wish they had. It's the nostalgia feel of it.
Certainly doesn't appear to be because it's reliable.
Well, and this is nostalgia for a video game. I don't know if you caught that.
Yes.
This is Nintendo 64 GoldenEye or whatever it was called back in the day, which was, geez, that was popular back when
my
Ace of
day.
Base was rocking the airwaves. I think it was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
But that's funny. He wants the gun because he played with it on a video game. I mean, people love guns from movies and TV shows, right?
Right. But I think even 20 years down, when we're not talking about this stuff anymore, there's going to be a new generation and they're going to be saying the exact same thing. I played with it on Call of Duty. I played with it on Weapons of War, whatever it was.
I've got to have an EOTech.
And I've got to have it.
Is that a real EOTech?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I always joke about because I'm not much of a video game guy, but I go to people who play video games and these first person shooter games.
Yeah.
I'm like, you could actually shoot these in real life. You could go buy this gun and put that optic on it and go to the range and actually shoot it.
Yeah.
Not
Shoot a
just on the
match.
computer.
But you're not going to be as accurate. I'm going to tell you that much.
Yeah. But it's just funny to me. So, all right, guns, we're going to jump into this. What discontinued gun do you wish they would bring back into production? Savage 99 pops up a bunch.
Yes.
Ruger Red Label shotguns pop up a bunch. I do like Blake's comment, literally all machine guns.
That should be the standard answer for everybody. But I will say, Bren 10 gets it. And we had, in the segment before, we had talked about the one that I think is the Thompson Center Icon. And you went on to Gunbroker. You said, what caliber do you want it in? They've got 5 on there.
Yep.
But they're all the wood stock. I want the Hogue overmolded stock.
The rubberized
The
stock.
rubberized. It's got a great grip on it. Man, that gun shoots so well.
Look at KJ. He's just like,
I love that gun
He's
so
going to
much.
go order one after
No,
this is over.
I'm fortunate that I bought one, and that's why
So you own one.
I own one, and I wish they would bring it back for all the other people. It's the same with the Smith & Wesson Gold shotguns.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Smith & Wesson made shotgun.
side by side and over and under.
It's a side by side in 20 gauge is a beautiful gun to shoot.
Yeah. Also, Ruger number ones in all calibers, Gary says. Now, and Ruger number ones kind of goes to a reason why things aren't made because they still make them in little short runs for special things. They're just hard to make. They're inefficient, and there's so much more efficient guns. You know how many Ruger RXMs Ruger can crank out compared to a Ruger number one? I mean, it's hand fitting, and you have these craftsmen who know how to make this stuff, whereas I don't know. I mean, I'm going to oversimplify it, but we're squirting polymer into a mold and we're punching out guns left and right. But it's always fun to talk about this stuff. We're going to keep the conversation going. After the break, we're going to have one of our good buddies, Kenny Barlow, on the show. Stick around. More gun talk coming right back.